Colin Alexander in Sheffield in the UK. He's a senior lecturer at Nottingham Trent University. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. All right, so in Xi's tenure, he has seen the country make enormous economic advances. That is great for him. But he's also known for removing virtually all difference of opinion from the positions around him. As any former leader knows, that's not always a great thing. Could that spell some trouble for him in the future?
I don't think it will spell trouble for him in the immediate future. I mean, this is a tactical or strategic ploy that he is engaged with. That ultimately, if you surround yourself and surround the high leadership positions with people who are loyal to you, then you're unlikely to get a challenge. And this is why we see the sort of rubber stamping of this third term. However, it's predicated on the basis that China will remain successful and its economy will grow, and there'll be, relatively speaking, a decent amount of satisfaction amongst the Chinese people. The problem occurs when if that doesn't happen and there is protest against them, and then actually what you find is that regimes like this really struggle to actually deal with it, and then you can begin to see the sort of fraying, infighting, and then potentially the collapse of the government, and then a political crisis.
So at the end of his 5 years, he will be premier for 15 years leading China. What are some challenges that he could face in this next term?
Well, I think we've all got challenges around oil, gas, other natural resources. China has a significant problem with pollution as well. There is problems around birth rate, so a declining birth rate. Now, to some extent, China's got so many people that you would say, well, is a declining birth rate not a positive thing? But that, if you have declining birth rates, then you have economic problems, particularly problems around pension provision. And he also has the kind of more general problem of just keeping up with his own propaganda and his own legacy. So she's created this notion of the China dream, kind of in a fabrication of the American dream, or at least corresponding to the American dream. And ultimately what he said is that he wants China to be prosperous, he wants it to be sort of different on the world stage. And if that doesn't happen, then ultimately questions will be asked, maybe not directly to him, such as his authoritarian way, but certainly questions will begin to be asked at a societal level.
Okay, given recent events, both inside China and outside, has the chance, do you think, of China taking military action in Taiwan gone up or gone down?
I think the chances of China doing anything militarily with Taiwan more depends on what Taiwan does. So China's position has been really clear for the last sort of 40 years on this one, that there's a one China policy, and that if Taiwan were to formally declare independence, then they would see this as an act of aggression, and that China would have the right, not saying it would use the right, but it would have the right to intervene by force. That's been the China's foreign policy towards Taiwan, as I say, since the late 1970s. So I don't think there'll be much change on that one. It is the China-Taiwan conflict, or the China-Taiwan-US triangular relationship, to some extent is a one of brinkmanship, where they each kind of push each other to the limits. But I think that all three parties understand that an actual, military confrontation isn't really in anybody's interest.
All right, Colin Alexander, good to talk to you.